Zombie apocalypse.
Wouldn't you like to know where your vaccines are coming from? We've all heard the conspiracies about risky pills and vaccines that do more harm than good, right? But what if some of those conspiracies weren't conspiracies at all? And the FDA, CDC, and the United States Public Health Services have made quite a few questionable decisions with public health since the start of these organizations. While some believe that many of the experiments were conducted by wacky German scientists, others suggest that many of the experiments were biohazardous weapons used for population control. Hey, welcome to Scandal Facts. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, or I'm going to send little green monsters to crawl under your big toenail and do the Harlem Shake. Take the Tuskegee experiment, for example. First off, this is a syphilis experiment. You heard me, a syphilis experiment. And was conducted on African American males from the early 1930s to the early 1970s. It was supposed to last 6 months, but no, it went on for 40 years. 40 years! They were told they would receive free health care if they participated. Guess what? They were lied to. They had no clue about the poison that was injected into them. They weren't even told about their conditions, although the treatment was readily available. They could have been treated with penicillin easily. How sinister. No wonder so many people would rather just stay away from hospitals. This experiment took the lives of nearly 130 people. Clearly, there are some questions about how effective our health agencies are, and if they even serve the people anymore. Let's take a look at another case that involves another disease that could have been prevented.
In 1997, a company called Parke-Davis released the drug Troglidozone under the name resulin. It was developed by Daiichi Sankyo in the United States, and it was introduced and manufactured by Parke-Davis, which later became Warner-Lambert in the late 1990s, but turned out to be associated with an idiosyncratic reaction leading to a drug-induced hepatitis. The FDA medical officer assigned to evaluate Troglidozone was a man by the name John G. Get this. He did not recommend its approval due to the potential high liver toxicity, and he threw fits about it. Parke-Davis obviously didn't like the negative attention, so they complained to the FDA about John G. and his erratic behavior, and he would be subsequently removed from his post for displaying company bias against Parke-Davis. So they say. A panel of experts approved it in January of 1997 despite John G's warnings, and they would not be removed from the shelves in the U.S. until the year 2000 after wreaking havoc on hundreds of thousands of people. Here's a case study of a 63-year-old man. We're going to call him Mad Max. And Mad Max had diabetes and was started on a daily dose of Troglidozone, but it wasn't long before he was hospitalized 18 weeks later with jaundice. Of course, he had underlying issues which he was being treated for as well, but liver failure wasn't one of them. When he was admitted, he clearly had jaundice and complained of pruritus and fatigue, but had no signs of liver failure. Even his tests, hepatitis A, B, and C, were negative at first, but then he would get a liver biopsy which showed changes of acute hepatitis consistent with drug-induced liver injury. And guess what? The drug monster was, you guessed it, Troglidozone. They immediately stopped his accelerated death program. Here's the kicker. This monster drug Troglidozone, which is also resulin, had made Parke-Davis, which is also Warner-Lambert, who is now Pfizer, who is currently the provider of your COVID-19 vaccine, a whopping 2.1 trillion big ones. So much for putting the people before the dollar. I'm just a teenager, and I can't even see that money seems to be more important than public health. You've just been hit with Scandal Facts. And we'll be back, yo. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Scandal Facts. Don't forget to smash that notification bell so you get all Scandal Facts first.